What's up, guys? Elias Fishing here, and boy, do I have a good one for you today. I want to introduce you to the brand new Berkley Dime Crankbait. So this is the brand new bait coming out from Berkley. We got four sizes. We've got a Dime 4, a Dime 6, a Dime 10, and a Dime 15. They all dive to those respective depths. And I'm going to show you those baits. I mean, I've got some 4s here. We got the 6, gets a little bit bigger. We got the 10, and obviously, and the 15. But first of all, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Leave me a comment if you got questions about the baits. But 4 sizes, and I'm going to get into each one. But first, I want to talk to you a little bit about what makes this crankbait so great. It's got Berkley's better than balsa technology. So what does that mean? That means they're using a resin or a plastic bait and making it act like a balsa bait, kind of like what you saw on the Frit side. What's really, really impressive with this is you get a very durable bait that tracks true every time. So those of you that have bought balsa baits have noticed that sometimes you've got to buy 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them just to get one that runs correctly out of the package. The problem with balsa is it's not always consistent. It can have knots in it. It can be weighted to one side more than it is the other. And it really makes for an inconsistent bait, where with a resin or a plastic bait, that doesn't happen. So this bait actually, it took 78 tries to break that balsa code in this bait. So 78 prototypes in the smaller model in the size 6. They actually went through 140 separate prototypes across the line in order to get these right. So let's talk about each one. And actually, I'm going to start with the size 4 and the size 6. Okay, so these two sizes, what's unique about them, and they're fairly similar, they've got the flash discs in the front. By the way, it's kind of cool. It has a number on there, shows you how deep it dives. But what's neat about it is it's got a weight transfer system in both the 4 and the 6. It has the flash discs up front. So what that weight transfer system means to you is it casts like a bullet. I was throwing these in the winter in some really heavy wind, and I was surprised that even on a bait caster, I can fire a 6-footer incredibly far. So that's the benefit of the weight transfer system in these small sizes, is they cast like a big crankbait, but you can fish them really well. In the size 10 and the size 15, that's not needed. They're heavy enough where you don't need that to cast that far. And they run just fine. They run great. They cast perfect. They run perfect. And what's great about these baits is it's got kind of that tight action, which I really prefer in some of the cooler water temperatures, right? Some of the colder months. But I've caught fish on them all year since I've had them. One of the really cool things about making a plastic bait, right, that runs like balsa is you can get those clear colors. So you can get translucent colors like a green craw that you just cannot achieve a color like this in a balsa bait. So that's one of the greatest things about them. I mean, you've got Ghost Morning Dawn. We've got Blue Shad over here. That's going to be more of a translucent bait that you can see through, which has really been a pretty big trend in cranks lately as fish become more pressured. Getting some of those more subtle colors has seemed to work really well. That being said, you got the bright stuff. I did really well on this one. This is an early prototype. It's got no writing on it, but over the winter I did really well. You've got some of the red craws, the red swamp craws. You've got citrus shad colors. But I'll tell you what, and actually, one of my favorites, I've got it in here somewhere, this one is Pixie Dust. So kind of a glittery, brighter crankbait that's good for some of that dirty water. It's also very good at night. But I think if y'all give this bait a try, check it out. It's the Berkley Dime. Gonna be released this fall. You'll see some previews of it on iCast, and I've got some footage that I'll put out of me catching some fish. You've seen some of that footage, but I hid the bait. So if you've seen some of those videos that I've put together from a couple months back, primarily at Lake Pleasant, where you saw me catching fish and I hid the crankbait. That's why. So I'm excited to introduce it to you here. Give them a shot. Check them out. Once they become available to the public, I'll put the links to the baits down in the description where you can go pick them up. But give that dime a shot. I think you're going to love it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you on the next one.